assaulted by a gang of vicious young hoodlums in this house.
Vicious, life-sucking bitch from which there is no escape.
Cheap, ambitious, and typical of you and everything you represent.
Imagine how snide and vicious.
Look, that rabbit's got a vicious streak a mile
Gant
wide.
is the vicious killer I know him to be.
Men who will take part in all kinds of viciousness. Don't care who gets hurt.
Thing will bite him off, man. This baby is vicious.
This master at arms, you know him for a liar, a vicious dog.
Surrounded by millions of the most vicious creatures on the planet.
Vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious violation of volition.
She was very badly raped, you see. We were assaulted by a gang of vicious young hoodlums in this house, in this very room you are sitting in now.
I want to name her Dottie after my wife. She's a vicious, life-sucking bitch from which there is no escape.
That's sweet, Carl.
STI, this is flight direct.
I consider this outright blackmail. Cheap, ambitious, and typical of you and everything you represent. Don't you try to pull that on me.
Quite a story. Addison could make quite a thing of it. Imagine how snide and vicious he could get and still tell nothing but the truth. I had a...
Tit! I saw my arm and I was so scared. Look, that rabbit's got a vicious streak a mile wide. It's a killer. Get stuff. He'll do you.
Liz, I can't make my mind accept that Gant is the vicious killer I know him to be. I've played chess with him. I've talked to him. I found myself...
Don't care about the law. Men who will take part in all kinds of viciousness. Don't care who gets hurt. In fact, the more they get hurt, the better.
So you can see it. Don't put your fingers in there. This thing will bite him off, man. This baby is vicious. Look at this.
Hey!
This master at arms, you know him for a liar, a vicious dog.
A dog's obeyed in office. Claggart was authority.
Yes, Mr. Kowalski. So they're currently in alien terrain, surrounded by millions of the most vicious creatures on the planet. Humans.
To vanquish these venal and virulent vermin, vanguarding vice and vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious violation of volition.
Got news for you. You're not fucking taking my children, you vicious fucking cunt. Fuck you, you fucking bitch. I'm not fucking taking
something. If someone says vicious things to you, it's the same.
It was a wolf, not a dog.
It's the same thing. They're dirty, vicious, and they hunt birds.
Fine. Next time I'll turn you in.
Handgun, police believe, wanted to take his vehicle. The vicious tragedy and senselessness of the brutal shooting, as well as the victim's final moments, were all caught.
Family film. True story. And every good family film starts with a vicious murder. Bambi, The Lion King, Saw 7.
Very criminal. Well, you're right about that. Vicious animal who won't take no for an answer. Violent decisiveness and any hint of betrayal.
On your hate, cuts, kills, rapes. It uses your weakness, your fear. Only the vicious survive. We all told we're no good pieces.
I'm trying to change 100 years of entrenched dogma. Dinosaurs were characterized very early on as vicious lizards. There's a great deal of resistance to the idea of them as nurturing parents.
And 3,000 of his Bobby Sox followers.
The piece was spiteful, vicious, and wholly inaccurate, and it has caused a great deal of upset.
The view that the living standards of the workers have been viciously attacked by the employers who, in any case, are in breach of contract.
They're going to be very vicious when they do get into court, sir. Don't worry, Harris. I shan't let you down. Understandably overwhelmed with what's just occurred here today. The tragic end of two vicious psychopaths who attempted to manipulate the news media for their own greed and...
48 hours, 6 officials from the Justice Department have been killed in a series of vicious and premeditated attacks. This marks the first time in the history of the United States.
Those Tuscans walk like men, but they're vicious, mindless monsters. 30 of us went out after.
It's an awesome spectacle. An audacious display of seething opponents. Once again parallel. In an
You're a vicious snowflake.
Okay.
You are a vicious bastard, retaliant. I'm glad you're dead.
Under your own roof. How horrible. He's as ugly as sin, and the most vicious creature I've ever set eyes upon.
Or attempted to harm another human being in his entire life. And he came out of the dungeon a vicious, barbaric, maniacal murderer. A man who had been put into a kind of psychological coma. With
Hey, squirt those squats on the left. You see him? Oh, I see our dead bodies.
Foxes to be hunted. Good morning, madam.
Propaganda! Vicious propaganda! Read what Oscar Wilde says! The unspeakable...
He's nothing but a wild, vicious animal.
He's tall, isn't he?
Cocktail.
Why do people give them?
Because people go to them.
It's a vicious circle, like perpetual motion.
Oh, it's depressing.
Stronger. More vicious.
I'm sorry.
And the old legend of the Shankara stones.
Dr. Durden, you're all vulnerable to vicious rumors. I seem to remember that in Honduras you...
No. You're evil. You're cruel and vicious. You're a monster.
From getting in the ring with Twin Cities. A vicious leak bot. So, to be clear, my
offense in shooting at announced police officers emphasizes the extreme viciousness of the Black Panther Party.